Welcome. I wanted to talk a little bit about how we add grades to our gradebook. Before we can add, one of the easiest things to do is just click on this little gradebook icon and it will take me to my third period Algebra 2 class. Before I can add any assignments, however, I have to set up the categories for this particular class. To do that, I'm going to go to the gradebook icon at the top and I'm going to click Setup. You could also have done this directly from the home screen, but I wanted to show you what it looks like when there are no assignments so that you had a feel for what that looks like. So this is the setup window, and from here you can set up categories, assignments, report card, blah, blah, blah. Before we can do anything, we have to determine what my categories are for the assignments and what their weight will be. This is a great conversation to have with your PLCs so that everyone is consistent with their categories and with their weights. And unfortunately, there are about 9 billion different category labels. So they can be they're not organized in any way that I particularly find useful. You're just going to have to power through them. If there are other people on your PLC that can help you identify what the correct categories are for consistency, then please use their brain power because that is helpful. So I am going to have tests in my Algebra 2 class. I am going to weight them at, I think our policy says 40% for each one. I'm not going to drop any. I, by default, want all grading periods to use this category and weight, so I'm not going to do anything here. You can just select the cycles that you are interested in, but it's best just to leave them blank. And then this one's important. I want to exclude missing scores from the average. And that doesn't mean that you have put an M in the gradebook and it's excluding that. This is for assignments that you might have populated before they're actually given to students because you like to get ahead of things and put upcoming assignments in. If there is a blank for the grade, then this will indicate that it should not be averaged into the the student's average. If you choose the other option, missing scores count as a 0, then if there is a blank in your grade book, it will count it as a 0. So just a good practice is to always leave it alone. Make sure you always save, and you can always go back and edit. You can also delete this category if you find that you've made a mistake. And so you can go from there. Anytime in the gradebook that you want to add something, if you look for what I think of as a Swiss flag, but it's this icon in particular, this would allow me to add yet another category, which I'm going to need to do because 40% is not going to be sufficient. So here I might say that, oh, good grief, there's just so many. I'm going to what am I going to pick? Daily assignments, because I do have some of those. And in this course with my PLC, we have determined that that is going to be worth 15%. I may choose to drop one. I may not. I can go back and change this at the end of the 6 weeks, depending on how many assignments I have. I like to go with worst case scenario for grading. And so this will give me, by not dropping any, that gives me the most realistic average for that student. And again, I am going to click the save button, and now I can see that I have 2 assignments or 2 categories, and I am ready to start actually populating my gradebook. I can do that from this assignment window, or you can also, once your categories are set up, you can, from your home screen, if I click on my gradebook, it takes me to my window that we started with, and from here, I can add assignments from here. So adding assignments is a different topic, and we will talk about that in a different video. Thanks.